You're now watching The Franchise on the DML Network.
Welcome into the DML Network and another episode of The Franchise, our longest running show here on the DML Network. It's your boy Expert, and that means we've had another draft in the Dynasty. Guys have picked their first round player to step in and can change their franchise. We'll go through and let you know, did you make a smart pick or did you have a bust? You know I don't do these shows alone. And back after a 1-year hiatus, it's the homie Taz. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Expert?
Man,
glad to
be
be
have you back. Yes, sir. I know you had a little business you had to handle on the road working, couldn't jump on last season, but we are back. And we got one of the originals that was on this show with us back in the building. So happy to have these two guys with me. It's Matty Ice from those Philadelphia Eagles. What's up, Matt?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Man, good to be back on the franchise. And guys, a loaded draft here in the Dynasty from top to bottom. I mean, there were several rounds that we saw lots of talent. I know Taz and I were in the chat together. I mean, I think this is the first draft where I've actually stayed around and picked all 7 picks and saw just so much talent across the board. And Matty Ice, I know you've talked about it before in chat. Man, this draft was loaded.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
And so we're going to talk, and of course, we got someone familiar picking at 1. It's King Flair has the first pick with those Pittsburgh Steelers, and he goes and gets a free safety. He goes off the board at number 1, Harmon Horton. And Matty Ice, talk about this free safety here. This is a guy that not a lot of guys had maybe going number 1, but is definitely a game changer here at free safety. And now he gets to go to Pittsburgh, and he's going to start on that defense. But talk about Harmon, especially being the number 1 overall pick.
Man, well, we can see he got some speed. Harmon's a monster, man, for real. I'm not gonna get on no chicken. Matter of fact, he is definitely gonna be a great safety. I hope he doesn't rot in Pittsburgh. But I can see 4 years down the line, he is not gonna want to sign a contract. But he's 21 years old, so we're gonna see if he develops or not. But I could see this guy basically playing a coverage safety and just covering the middle of the field. I know if I'm on the field, I see Harmon covering my best receiver, I'm looking elsewhere. That's just the way I could put it. But I did not expect him to go first overall. I agree with you.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to go first overall, but definitely a game changer and a good pick for Flair. And we'll let both guys jump here on the first one. Go ahead, Matty.
Hey, let me ask you something, man. This might have been the first time I've seen Flair win his first round pick since I've been here, since Madden 17.
Well, I think,
how about y'all?
You know, he's had first round picks. He usually just trades away his best pick, but he usually has a first round pick. And he's kept several over the years, over the last couple cycles, where he's kept his first round pick. And really, you know, he's drafted some really, really good players. And this is another one. And Taz, this is a guy right now, like Matty Ice talked about, especially with 82 zone coverage coming out of college, a guy that you can just plug in there and kind of just let him play, especially coming out of LSU, where he's played some of the top talent.
Oh, no doubt. This kid, he has 70 play rack already coming out of college. He is ready to hit the field day 1, starter, shutting stuff down. I mean, it was a great pick. But at the same time, as we'll see later on, there was even better pick that Flair could have made.
Yeah, still a good pick at 1. A guy that can plug in there. Like I say, this draft was just loaded with talent. Let's move on to the next one. It's the Bengals picking at number 2, and we're going to see the first corner go off the board. And this is a guy that was highly rated on most draft boards. Pearson Fells, coming out of Ole Miss, another 21-year-old, 5'11", 211-pound cornerback with 92 speed. And Taz, this guy has all the attributes coming out the gate, ready to go and step in for Cincinnati.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely going to be day 1 starter. With his size, he could also play strong safety. I mean, that's a big kid, 5'11", 211. I mean, he's pretty solid, but good speed, great coverage, man 83, zone 85, 78 play rec. He is definitely a beast.
Yeah, and Matty Ice, do you see him moving this guy around, maybe trying him out at strong safety, or you expect him to be at corner for his career?
Well, with Coach Jay, we never, Jay Skills, we never know. I think that he's going to leave him out there because of his agility and his play recognition. Looks like he studies his routes. But his agility is what sticks out to me the most. So he's not going to get burnt in an open field, and he's going to be able to cover them wide receivers when they're running them routes. So that I would leave him as corner, and I think Jay will too.
Yeah, and so
he could press too. So the press, he going to get up on them wide receivers. So
yeah, he's definitely going to be able to do whatever he wants with that cornerback.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Detroit Lions, and it's Taz's first pick. And talk about Spencer Blaylock. I know when we were in the chat, you were expecting this guy to at least be a star or superstar development, but he comes out of LSU, 6'4", 229-pound quarterback. Talk about how excited the Lions are to have Blaylock stepping into that huddle.
We're extremely excited. We're a little disappointed in his development trait, but at the same time, I mean, this big kid can sling the rock. I mean, you just look at his ratings: 92 throw power, 77 deep accuracy, 82 in the medium, and 80 in the short. Got 78 play action. I mean, he can break sacks. This kid can do it all. We are very happy with the pick. We little disappointed in that dev trait, but he is not going to let us down. Not to mention, he's a lefty also.
Wow.
Yeah, he is a lefty, and he's got a cannon for an arm. Good pick here by the Lions. All right, next up, it's the Denver Broncos, and we're going to see our first linebacker come off the board. And Matty Ice, DeMarcus Canty out of Penn State. Superstar development. He's got 88 speed, 87 acceleration, and this guy kind of just jumped off the page when you looked at middle linebackers as a guy that's going to step in and kind of solidify this Broncos defense. They gave up a lot of points last year. They needed to do something to help stop the run, and JB goes out and gets him a monster. Talk about DeMarcus coming out of Penn State.
Goodness, man, this is my kind of linebacker right here, man. He's 6'3", he's patrolling that field. So he moved him. He moved him to middle. I'm pretty sure. He moved him to the middle.
Yep.
He's quick and he can cover. Now we gonna watch how he does against the run. He doesn't have a great block shed. I expect this guy to be patrolling the middle of the field and third and when the offense is looking to pick up a first down, Canty is gonna be the man patrolling that field.
Yeah.
To not allow them to move the sticks. Now it's going to be interesting to see how he does in Denver. It's a struggling program. We'll see if the Penn State man can come in and turn it around, man.
Yeah, he's definitely a piece though that's going to help this defense. Anytime you get a middle linebacker like DeMarcus, he definitely makes everybody around him better. Now it's, can JB utilize him like Matthew says? Can he turn this program around in Denver, because they are struggling, and that's the reason they're picking so high, especially here at number 4. But next up, another guy that struggled last year, and the Indianapolis Colts have had some really, really, really good drafts here lately. I mean, this is, Maurizi has really done a great job building this roster. It just has not converted to wins for him at this point. But Jatavius Boyd is a guy that at 5'10", coming out of Wisconsin, not known for producing big wide receivers as they are a run-heavy organization. But Jatavius Boyd really did a great job being that go-to guy in Wisconsin when they needed to play. And he's got all the attributes you're looking for. And this is a guy I got to see twice a year. And Maurizi has done a great job with that wide receiver core. He has a deep threat, a big guy that he can go get the ball. Now he's got a burner to come across the middle. And Taz, talk about 92 speed, 92 acceleration, but his catching attributes across the board just stand out for this kid.
He's all green across the board. 80 catching traffic, 77 spec catch. I mean, this kid is nice. Got that 83 release. With that speed, he's definitely going to stretch the field. Defenses better watch out. And he can return the ball. Man, nice pickup.
Yeah, great pickup. I talked to Jalen Ramsey on Saturday after the draft, And he let me know that wherever Jatavius Boyd goes, he will be going with him to make sure that we shut that down. Corn also felt like he had some things to prove versus this Colts team as they got the last win against us. But let's move on. Another team in the AFC South. It's the Tennessee Titans. And let's talk about Barry Eckel. This is the middle linebacker that I felt his speed was going to be a little bit better, Matty. At 84 speed, he's got 86 acceleration. I thought he was going to be a little bit faster with the way he ran at the combine. But another middle linebacker that can pretty much do everything you need him to do. Talk about Eckel here for the Tennessee Titans.
This right here, I love this pick because Eckel is going to be able to play pro in front of his hometown. He goes to college, Tennessee, and he's going to stay home. But this guy right here, it reminds me of a Philadelphia Eagle named Morgan Painter. This guy has 84 zone coverage at 21 years old. He's star development. He can tackle. He can hit hard. He can keep up with them flats and tight ends in the flat. And he can stop the run. He has 86 pursuit. So he's sniffing that run out. He's going to be the captain on this defense. As you see, Tennessee had posted Rashawn Evans on the block because it didn't work out well. He was mad that they had selected Barry Eckel in the first round. Evans felt disrespected. So they got a controversy over there in Tennessee, and Coach Darkness said, you know what, Eckel's our guy, and I ain't mad at him. So it's a good decision, great decision right here.
84 zone, but he also has 81 man coverage already. This is a great linebacker. We're gonna have to keep our eyes open for where 50 is on the field. Next up, King Vitamin and those Los Angeles Rams. Another linebacker comes off the board, Randall Lamar. And Randall Lamar is a guy that, at 23 years old, coming out of Notre Dame, this was a kid that maybe kind of got overshadowed with some of these younger linebackers that are coming out that can fly around the football. But Tazzarelli, when you have a linebacker that's got 90 hit power and 81 tackle coming out of college, I'm surprised he lasted to number 8. And he doesn't have the greatest speed in the world, the 83 speed, 84 acceleration. But if he gets his mitts on you, it is a wrap. You are going down, and then you are going to feel him hitting you. Talk about this kid, Randall Lamar.
Randall Lamar is coming into the DML with nothing but bad intentions. He's bringing that 90 hit power, and he is trying to concuss the ball carrier on every play. I mean, that's crazy. I'm glad he's not faster because that would have just been a real problem. But the kid is smart. He has decent block shed, decent pursuit, has great awareness, but his play recognition is kind of low. So he needs to study that playbook and really watch a lot of film. But overall, great pick.
Yeah, great pick here by King Vitamin. Next up, it's the Packers. And we just saw linebacker after linebacker after linebacker go off the board. And DJ Dean was a guy that we were looking at in Jacksonville. We were expecting him to kind of fall down the board a little bit. This is the kid out of Ohio State, 6'5", 252 pounds, Matty Ice. Talk about DJ Dean.
Okay, so DJ Dean is a pure pass rusher. When you got third and long, second and long, when you're expecting to pass, you're going to have to look out for DJ Dean and maybe double him on the outside. And, he has potential, man. He's going to need some work. I'm pretty sure this is the Foreman. He won the Heisman Trophy coming into this draft. I didn't expect him to drop this far just for that reason. I think he's going to do a good job in Green Bay. I know Green Bay is looking to turn a corner this year with that program. I think DJ Dean is going to be successful in that scheme.
Yeah, definitely a guy I'm putting in a 3-4 scheme, putting him at defensive end and letting him go after quarterback. Definitely a great player. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys. And we're gonna see the first left tackle come off of the board. And he traded away Zach Martin. And he's kind of dismantled the offensive line that he had. But he goes and gets BJ Sharp out of Oregon. And Taz, when you look at BJ, there is absolutely nothing wrong with BJ's game. This is a guy that you don't try and change him. You don't try and mold him. You just put him out there in left tackle and say, you just be you. And that's kind of what HBO got. This was a weird pick for a guy like HBO. I expected him to go wide receiver, something flashy. But he hunkered down this draft and actually had a good first round pick in BJ Sharp. Talk about this left tackle coming out of Oregon.
BJ is just a man child. I mean, everything across the board you look at, he's just green. He's coming in, just plug and play. Actually, anywhere on that offensive line. The kid is smart enough that he could play center and call out all the schemes and everything. I mean, this was a great pick by HBO. Really surprised everybody, I believe, but that's an awesome pick.
Yeah, definitely a good pick and a surprise pick. All right, next up, Addy 5 and the Saints, and probably my favorite pick of the draft. It's JT Ball. Now, I did not expect JT Ball's acceleration to be at 84. I expected it to be a little bit higher. I wasn't expecting a 90, but I know I was expecting an 87, 88 acceleration. It's the one thing I didn't like about him. But this is a guy right now that Addy 5 made some moves to make sure he could step into the top 10 and go get a need that he had. And Matty Ice, talk about JT Ball going to a Super Bowl caliber team at 22 years old, 6'1", 216-pound strong safety.
Yeah, JT Ball is going to be very successful under Coach Addy. What stands out to me is this guy's hip power, man. I'm going to make sure that if we line up against this guy, we ain't sending no one near him. We're going to have to coach up, because he's gonna be rocking some people across the middle. He can do it all, man. I expect him to be look out for him to have an immediate impact on it. That was a struggle in the secondary. Now we watched him in the playoffs get burnt by some veteran wide receivers, and I think that he made the right moves. And after that loss to the Niners last season, he knew right away what he had to fix, and he went out and did it.
Yeah, we're gonna look at another player he's gonna get a little bit later. That's gonna team up with JT Ball. All right, next up, it's the OG Tone Dog. What up with those Oakland Raiders, LA Raiders, wherever he got the Raiders playing now. And we see our first defensive end. And Sal Anelli, Tazzarelli, star development, 6'2", 246, 82 speed, 88 acceleration at the right end. This is a monster, and Tone Dog just pulled him a great player. Talk about him.
That's cheating. That is just, that's cheating. That's all that is. That's ridiculous. How do you block that? I mean, there's not that many great left tackles, to just hang with that. Just pure speed. I mean, I don't have much to say except damn.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say? That's just cheating.
Can Tone Dog get these guys starting to play better and get back to the playoffs where he belongs, where he was at the first couple seasons here in the Dynasty? We'll see. Saul is one of those guys that he's definitely going to put him in the right direction. Next up, Tampa Bay Bucks. And Matty Ice, you get to go twice because David Wooten was the guy that you wanted. And so I want you to talk about David Wooten. This is the kid out of Oklahoma, 6'8", 330 pounds. And talk about why this guy is such an important piece that you felt Philly needed him. And, Tampa Bay and T-Pain felt the same way, and they took him one pick before you.
Oh, man, what a heartbreaker. What a greedy guy. Anyway, listen, let me tell you something. This guy has a nice line, man. It was a smart move, man, and this stuff happens. But you know what? Let me tell you something. When me and my staff were at the Combine, we seen Mr. Wooten. Well, he benched 41. I think he had 41 reps.
41 reps at 225.
And we looked at our numbers. We talked to our stat team, and we said, well, Rosen's been on the ground from our left tackle, I think 15 to 16 times, just from our left tackle alone. He's been in the dirt. So we said, this is a no-brainer. He'll be there. We were confident he was there, but we made sure that this was a great move by him. If he can turn this run game, this power run game on right now, now's to do it for Mr. Carl or T-Pain, what we call him now. He moved Mr. Wooten to center. Yep. I expect to see a lot of power run coming out of Tampa. 6'8", 330. What a strong 95 strength. Should tell you enough that this guy is hauling that middle.
Yeah, he is.
And he's a tough guy. I don't think he missed any games in colleges. What a healthy guy. Oh man, Mr. Wooten. Good luck in Tampa, man. If you want out, you know who to call, baby.
Matty Ice feels salty, and so let's look at the Eagles pick here at number 13. And the left tackle wasn't there, and you felt you needed a running back, and so you took the top-rated running back, Darby Timmons. And talk about Darby Timmons. When you drafted him, a lot of people are going to look at his speed and his acceleration and say, this isn't a guy that could play for me. But talk about Darby. You've changed his number. He's going to go to number 2. And he's going to try and be that wrecking ball you expect him to be. But talk about Darby and what you expect here in Philly with him.
So when we met Mr. Timmons out of Nebraska, we had a private workout with him. One thing that stood out to us is that he was willing to learn. He was strong. He loved the city of Philadelphia. He has family here, and he's a healthy guy. And we know that he's okay with sharing the roles with Mr. Matt Breida. Now, Mr. Timmons also ensured that he will be between the tackles. We were a little worried about his ability to get to the edge. He's a tough guy. We expect him to be our number 1 for a long time here. And we're happy to have him, man. We're gonna play this one optimistic. So we're gonna have an open mind, and we're gonna see what he does during his rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 90 trucking ability, 90 stiff arm right now. This is a guy you better get low and wrap a leg up and hope for help is coming along the way. And if he gets all the way up to that 86 speed and you see him, time to make a business decision and lay down or fake an injury or push him or do something, because I don't want to get run over by this.
Better do like Deion Sanders and push him out of bounds.
They don't pay me to tackle. They don't pay me to tackle. I'll wait till you run past me, and then I'll chase you down and knock you down. That'll be a business decision a lot of guys make, or they're just going to get run over or get a stiff arm. We'll see. But I expect Darby Timmons to be a big piece of the Philadelphia Eagles. Next up, the head commish. Oh, I'm sorry. Seahawks first, and then we'll get to Deion. And we get Matt Lloyd. And talk about a big, huge guy here going to the Seahawks. And Jay gets a 92 strength, big boy in the middle. Talk about him, Taz.
Wow. 6'4", 308.
Oof.
Quick development. 80 block shed already. This kid is going to be nice. Got 83 power moves, 73 finesse moves. This is a big kid that's going to fill the hole, stop the run, get after the quarterback. He's going to do it all. Great pick.
Yeah, great pick here by Jay and the Seahawks. All right, now let's get to the head commish. Deion and those Atlanta Falcons. We see another defensive tackle come off the board, and Matty Ice, he felt Raphael Royals was going to be there. I know he was looking secondary, but when you get a guy like Raphael at 6'4", 286 that can play both positions, he can go inside and play the D tackle, but he can also step outside and play on the defensive end. He's got 86 acceleration, 81 tackle. He's got 87 finesse moves already. Talk about this pick here for Nasty Noop and the Falcons.
Raphael was a very smart man coming out of college. So he's strong and he's shifty. It's going to be hard to block this guy because his moves are going to be everything. He's a pure pass rusher, and I know Mr. Noop is going to work on him to learn how to stop the run. But this guy's going to be very successful in a very tough defense. So this is a great pick by him. That already has Bradley Gels and the top 2 leading defensive ends, and tack. So this is going to be a pure headache when going against this Falcons defense. Yeah,
at this point, it's who do you double team? You got to pick one of the 4 on that front line, and I'm pretty sure Gels has got to be the guy you double team. because you can't afford to leave that guy. That's the sack master out there, which means Royals is going to get man up one-on-one with the tackle or a guard or a center, and he's going to have his way. Going to be interesting what Nasty Noop is building over there in Atlanta as we get to high stakes. All right, next up, the Buffalo Bills.
Wow, he's picking late this year, baby.
Buffalo Bills picking late.
Right.
See skill.
Skill trade. I'm a little salty about this pick here.
You go ahead and talk about that one.
Let's talk about this tight end. I'm in the chat with Taz and with the OG Chris Murray, and I'm talking about my first pick. It's not till 26, and Michael Kruger. I'm like, listen, guys, this is a monster at tight end, and nobody drafts tight ends in the first round.
Talk about it.
We're afraid of them. We just don't do it. We let them slide. And I said, Michael Kruger is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar, and watch this guy's speed at tight end. 87 speed, 87 acceleration. He's got 85 catching already. He's not a run blocker. He's not a pass blocker, and that's perfectly fine with skill trade right now. This is a guy you put in the slot. You can put him out wide. 6'7", 262 pounds out of Ohio State. Star development with 87 speed.
Damn.
You tell me a cornerback or a safety or a linebacker that's locking this kid down. If you have the Buffalo Bills on your schedule, you better find out where 88 is at. And if he's run blocking, you better blitz to that side. But if he's going out for a pass, you might want to lock him up with a user, because this is a guy that can run, and he'll run for days at tight end. Skill trade. Great pick here. He should have been a Jag. Let me know next year if you want to trade him. I got a first-round pick for him waiting for you. Next up, underrated and the Redskins. And we get another linebacker come off the board. And Heston Sword, it doesn't have the greatest attributes if you look at him. 83 tackle. He's got 82 hit power. Not a fan of his speed at all at 78 and 80. This is a guy I've got to move to maybe a defensive end. But Taz, talk about Heston going here to the Washington Redskins.
Heston's, he's going to, a good guy, good user, underrated. Not really impressive overall. Just depends on the scheme that he's going to be in. I think underrated's been running 3-4, so he should be okay. But overall, it was a good pick. But just a guy.
Oh, we got our first Jag here on the franchise. We get a Jag. Wow.
I see potential in him, but I'm not giving no chickens out.
Oh yeah, there's potential.
Potential for Heston Sword to kind of step in out of USC and be that guy. All right. Next up, I think we got an award we got to give away. So, Nasty Noob, go ahead and roll that footage.
Breaking news. Today, unpredictable events have occurred across the globe. Who has come to save the day for humanity? Who is this mysterious, mighty hero?
Stretch Armstrong.
Your stretchable superhero. Stretch him 4 times his size. He becomes bigger than a building. Tie him into a knot. He always goes back to his original shape. Stretch him again and again. Stretch Armstrong. The return only from character.
Stretch Armstrong.
That's right. Pick 18, Houston Texans, and he's going to get the Stretch Armstrong Award. And this is what happens when you don't set up your draft board and you get caught doing family functions and you allow your draft board not to work for you, and you're the head of the war room and you make an assistant coach in charge of it, and he picks Kendall Morse because he felt that was a good player and he was lobbying for him. But I promise you this, SJ did not want Kendall Morse on the roster, and now he is stuck with him. 23-year-old kid, 6'4", 291 pounds, out of Connecticut. Nothing about this guy jumps off the board and says, great pick. And a matter of fact, SJ even wrote in the chat, as soon as we started talking about who gets this award, SJ said, just give it to me. He's already changed his name. Yeah. He's already changed his name in the chat. Congratulations, SJ.
Yeah, you know he's a triple OG. We ain't got to tell him.
Yeah, you ain't got to tell him he knows. So we won't even waste any time on Kendall because he is straight garbage. Next up, Carolina Panthers. And it's C-Rob. We see another left tackle come off the board. And Warren Paradis, another guy I thought might be there at 26. Another good pickup. He's got some work to do. But, Matty Ice, talk about Warren and how he fits into this Panther program.
Man, Warren Paradis, he's going to have all the time in the world to give that coach the time for that comeback route. I can tell you that he's a pass blocker. He's big. He's strong. Biggest thing about him is his conditioning is great. He has 94 stamina. He's a tough kid. He likes challenges. You know, he's not afraid to take on a DN like Gels. We're going to see what happens. It's gonna be matchups in the future when we see Gels and Tack on this guy, and we're gonna see how Paradis comes out. Good luck, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, good pick here by C-Rob. Next up, it's the 49ers, and let's take a second to congratulate Sweets 99 for his Super Bowl appearance. Came up a little short against tight work, but played a good game, had a great season. Congrats to the 49ers, and he's gonna pick here at pick 20. And we see a wide receiver, Eric McCoy. And anytime you get a wide receiver that's got 96 speed, this is a win for you, especially when he's at 6'1", 177 pounds. This is a kid out of North Carolina, 22 years old. Needs a little work on his route running. And they knew that in San Francisco coming out. And that's something that Sweets and his team will work on. But anytime you got 96 speed, Taz, talk about how that can benefit your offense.
You know, you can't teach speed. You can't make it. You know, you're born with it or you're not. And this kid is just going to fly. And he's going to a great system with Sweets. And he's going to succeed. I mean, he doesn't have to jump out there right away. Sweets has more than enough receivers on his roster. He can sit back, learn from some of these veterans, and just get his skill set up, you know, run crisp routes and just use that speed to his advantage.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Good pick here by Sweets 99. Next up, Solomon and those Jets and LaMarcus Pickens. Okay, we got a 96 speed wide receiver. Now we have a 94 speed wide receiver with 97 acceleration. LaMarcus Pickens. Matty Ice, talk about this kid coming out of North Dakota, 5'9", 176.
You know, this guy's explosive. He can run after the catch. When he reads, man, this guy's going to be a bubble screen, drag route nightmare. Man, he's going to open up the field, too, for them other wide receivers that are on this Jets roster, which is the big guy, Porcher, and the other fast guy, Spencer Dees. This is a nightmare offense coming now. Darnold got some weapons.
Yeah, Spencer Dees, the kid that he drafted last year out of Florida State, 94 speed, 97 acceleration already. And then you got Porcher, who's kind of that big body guy like Matty talked about. But don't forget, you got Robbie Anderson on this roster still, which is that veteran that's still at 94 speed, kind of running around for that group. Next up, it's the Giants. And the Giants, Matty Ice, one took your division from you last year. We won't talk about that because I know you've already got plans for the Giants coming up this year. But we see Leon Jefferson, Taz, and big, huge guys are something that you definitely need, especially here in the Dynasty, because you got to have a run game going forward, especially as we get closer to the high-stakes season where everything matters. And, Leon Jefferson is one of those guys. This is a kid out of Michigan State, 314 pounds, Taz, and 88 strength. He's got 80 pass and 80 run block already. Talk about Leon a little bit.
Leon, he was drafted at center, but it looks like Puglisi has moved him over to guard. So that's going to be pretty interesting. You know, he's not real tall, but with that strength, he's going to be able to handle it. Good pick. Like to see what he's going to do. See if he can take it away from Matty again.
Yeah. Next up, it's the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys have drafted another quarterback. Another one.
Wow, man.
Another one.
Another one.
He drafted Pollock. He drafted Beasley. Now Carroll. Now,
Barrett? Didn't he draft Barrett?
Barrett traded for Beasley. He started Borders. He had Roethlisberger. Yeah, mad quarterbacks. It's like, what is you doing, baby?
Quarterback killer.
Yeah, he bombed right now.
And HBO, I'm going to talk a little bit about Carroll, as the Cowboys are my team, and I'll be back there next cycle. Can you please change this man's shoulder pads, please, immediately? If you're watching this show here on the DML Network, guys, I want you guys to go and check out my Twitter page at DML Experts Corner right after you watch this show, because I'm going to post a picture of the shoulder pads that this man has. He has no neck anymore in his shoulder pads. HBO, them pads not going to help him from getting sacked or hurting himself. That's not what it is. But this is a kid coming out of Georgia, all jokes aside, 6'3", 230 pounds. He has 90 throw power, and everything about Leland Carroll looks good. 83 medium accuracy, 88 short. He's got 86 throw on the run. This is a kid who is going to stand in the pocket at 6'3" and throw the football. Now, he's already got a good quarterback in Beasley, who I thought was going to be a starter, but I think Carroll is going to take that spot, and Beasley will be available for trade if you need a quarterback. So HBO, I'm sure, is shopping Beasley, but this Carroll kid is actually a really good pick. As funny as it is that he keeps drafting quarterbacks, he's actually drafted some really good quarterbacks. It's just he doesn't know how to utilize these guys' talents. And so we'll see. Can Carroll be that guy that breaks the mold in Dallas and be a good pick for him? I'm going to vote no, but is a good pick still. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles, pick 24 here in the draft, and it's your second pick. And Terrell Beard, another tight end, goes off the board here in the first round. Matty Ice, talk about Beard and what you needed at tight end here for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, we needed a Zach Ertz replacement. This guy right here has hands, man. And you know what? This guy was a former center in Florida State, and he knows how to box you out. He needs a little bit of work on his route running, but he can catch. He got hands like glue, and he's in a position where Rosen and him are already, working out and running routes together, and so practicing together. So this should be an interesting season for Rosen.
Yeah, anytime you get 6'5", 265, superstar development at tight end, you've made a good pick, especially when you get him at pick 24. Next up, KP and those Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Taz, we get to see the Chiefs and his first pick here in the Dynasty. And we see another defensive tackle, Francis Cooper, which is a big boy at 6'6", 306, coming out of Oklahoma. And there are talks that he has been moved to a defensive end position. Now, is that a smart decision? We're not going to doubt KP. He has banners in the ceiling for a reason. But are you moving a monster like this at 6'6", 306 to a defensive end? Or are you leaving him camped in the middle?
I'm definitely leaving him camped in the middle. KP runs a 3-4 scheme also, doesn't he?
Correct.
So, I mean, I get that, but the dude is 6'6". Make the quarterback have to throw over him. I mean, he has the strength. He's pushing the center back with that 86 strength. Then he's 6'6". He puts his hands up. I mean, wow. Yeah. Just big old wall in the way. But KP, like you said, KP has multiple banners, and just there's a method to his madness.
Always. And a good pick here for KP. Wherever Francis plays is going to make plays for this Chiefs team. Next up, it's the Jacksonville Jags. Expert picks at pick 26. And Taz, I know I took your boy. You was hoping this guy was going to draft, but we needed another offensive lineman. Ray Sanders is going to get moved around a little bit, but 6'4", 310 pounds, 21-year-old rookie. He's got star development. He's gonna be able to move around, but he's got 81 run block, 78 pass block already, 83 impact. This is a guy that's going to make some plays for us, and he's probably going to move to left guard. We're still kind of looking at some things on this offensive line, but Ray Sanders, a good pick here for the Jags. We love him. Let's move on. The Vikings, pick 27. Another defensive tackle, Roman Richards. All right, Matty Ice. Is it surprising that the Vikings first are picking 27? He had a great year, makes the playoffs there in a very tough NFC North division. He makes the playoffs, and now he gets a big, huge monster to plug into that middle. Talk about Roman Richards a little bit.
Yeah, hats off to a veteran, but I think this was the Chicago Bears pick. I'm pretty sure. Not sure though. It definitely was the Chicago Bears pick. I think the Cowboys, when he took his quarterback, I think that was the Vikings pick.
Around.
Yeah, so this is a good pick in the late first round. He's a star. He's out of Louisville. He's 6'3", 300. He's a power rusher. He got 83 power moves. He definitely has a lot of potential. So we're going to see what happens.
Star development. Anytime you get a star development this late in the first round, always a good thing.
Yeah. He has a lot of DTs on his roster. Look for a couple of these guys to be cut or traded. So.
A couple guys to be cut or traded. All right, we talked a little bit earlier about the Saints' first pick at pick 10, and this is why I said that was such a great pick. He completely flipped the back end of his secondary out in the first round here in the DML network. This Reggie Sampson kid, Taz, he's already got a monster at strong safety. And you were in the chat with me.
Yeah.
He gets Reggie Sampson at 87 speed, 92 excel at free safety. 84 man coverage already. He's got to work on his zone, but talk about him getting two huge additions, another star development, and changing out his entire secondary just about to make the Saints, an already dangerous team, even that more formidable.
All I can say is everyone in his division, either you better run the ball or run drag routes, because if you try to go deep, it is shut down. We couldn't believe it when he made this pick. This late, and he picks a star development free safety. Not only star development, but that 87 speed, 92 excel. Yeah. That is crazy. Great pick.
Yeah, and you're going to match him up with JT Ball, another guy with wonderful speed and huge hit power. The Saints, who are already a tough team, just got that much better. Next up, it's the stretch winner, SJ. And I believe SJ actually got to make this pick. I think he made it back in time to get Cedric. And if he didn't, that's probably what I would tell people is I didn't get back in time because 88 speed, 83 acceleration at cornerback. There were wide receivers in the AFC that got up and clapped when this pick was made by the Houston Texans. Matty Ice, he's got good stuff. He's got 80 man coverage. He's got 77 press. He's got 89 jumping ability. But is that speed just relegate him to a slot guy, or maybe even just a special teams player here for the Texans?
I think, this is gonna be man. I think he has potential. He's not the fastest guy. Looking for him in the nickel package, maybe to cover the tight end, or just try to fit in where he get in. Maybe move his safety a little bit. Maybe some dime. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be a special teams guy. But this secondary is loaded. I think that he's just, he's here to help with some injuries and some special teams. It's tough because there's a lot. This secondary is crowded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I guess maybe a Tyrann Mathieu replacement sooner or later. Something like that. We'll see what he does.
SJ would like to redo the draft completely. We're going to draft tomorrow. None of these picks count. We're gonna simulate back to this exact spot. We've had a desync here in the Dynasty. Does not count. Next up is the cards. All right. First off, welcome to the Dynasty, AJ. This is a guy that has put his time in the blueprint and has been there and done everything we've asked him to do, and he got a call up. And this is his first draft here in the DML. And this is your boy here, Matty Ice.
Yes, sir.
This is a guy that you've been lobbying for quite some time to come up to the Dynasty, and he finally gets that call up, and he picks Frank Radway coming out of Notre Dame. So first, talk a little bit about how excited you are to have AJ in the Dynasty, and then talk about this Jag that he picked here.
He ain't that bad. He's a power. AJ, he's definitely a guy like us. He loves the Madden world. We got into CFM kind of around the same time, and we're from the same hometown, so it's cool to have him here. But he's a good user, and I think that he's going to do his best to stay here, remain here. Once he found out what was involved in it, he liked it a lot. So welcome up, man. Glad to have my buddy here. But I think that he has some work to do with this Cardinals team, and I think Frank Radway reminds me a lot like KJ Wright. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he has some coverage opportunity. He has some coverage ability, and he gonna hit you. He gonna rock you. So he gonna stop the run, and he can drop back and defend the pass a little bit. I don't think Radway's that bad. He's only 21 years old.
Yeah, he ain't catching many things at 79 speed.
Oh, hey, it was KJ Wright. They won the Super Bowl, so look for him to play.
That's it. I love how you stick up for AJ.
Yeah.
AJ, welcome to the Dynasty. Next up, Marizzi and the Colts. He has his second pick here in the first round, and man, Marizzi is just building and building and building, Taz. And Javonte Matthews is another piece.
Whoa.
Kid out of Florida State, 6'5", 296-pound defensive tackle, 86 strength. He's got 83 power moves already, 81 block shed. Another guy that Marizzi is building as he gets closer to high stakes. Maybe he's doing this on purpose, but just having another great draft there in Indianapolis. Talk about Javonte Matthews.
Another great pick this late in the draft because 6'5", 296, 21 years old, and star development. That is crazy. I mean, he's coming in, he's doing work, day one starter, coming into a good team, tough division, your division,
Yep.
but definitely a guy that you are going to definitely need to have that offensive line built up to handle.
Yep. All right. Next to last pick, it's the Miami Dolphins, and it's three-time Super Bowl winner. Tight work. Congratulations to the Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Taking another Lombardi trophy back home. I'm pretty sure we'll have the trophy shipped and ready to go here shortly for you. Hangs another banner here in the Dynasty after having two last cycle. And he gets the last pick here in the first round. J.T. McKenzie. This is the right guard, which JT has already been moved. He's going to start at left tackle here for the Miami Dolphins. But Matty Ice, 6'3", 314. This is the rookie coming out of Texas Christian there in the Dallas area. Talk about JT McKenzie going to a Super Bowl team already.
JT McKenzie got some big shoes to fill now. I don't want to put no pressure on that young man, but they just, after the Super Bowl win, they chose not to resign Juwan James, and McKenzie will be brought along slowly. So, he's coming to a great power run program. I know Tight Work loves them fat, sexy men down there that plays in the trenches. So this guy will not be left out. He'll be studied. He'll be worked hard. He'll be brought along good. So this ain't a bad pick at 32 for a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, especially when you go to a guy like Tight Work. Definitely going to be able to use McKenzie how he wants. All right, last one we'll talk about, Mr. Irrelevant here in the Dynasty. And it's Tracy Winters going to the Miami Dolphins. And I want to pull up Tracy Winters' card because he may have a shot here to make this Miami Dolphins roster. He's made it all the way to week 4 of the preseason. He's going to have one more cut down to see if he made the roster. May end up on a practice squad here for the Dolphins or maybe somewhere else. But Taz, 6'4", 227 pounds. And he's got some attributes that you really got to like. He's got 88 speed. He's got 88 acceleration. But he's got 79 spec catch already. He can run short routes. He's got to work on his medium and his deep. But another guy that has the opportunity to make a roster, getting picked last here in the Dynasty. Do you see this guy making the final 53 here for Miami, or maybe he's a practice squad player?
Truthfully, I think he might make the squad. 6'4", running this 88 speed, 88 excel. Like, he seriously might make the squad and is something to watch out for down in the red zone. He's definitely got some talent. I wouldn't mind having him on my squad. Go on and put him on the practice squad.
Go on and put him on a practice squad. Like I say, there's somebody that wants him. And this will be the third. If he makes the roster here, this will be our third season in a row that Mr. Irrelevant has made the team. Twice before, the Saints have kept the last pick on the team. And we'll see if Tight Work feels Tracy Winters has earned his spot. All right, guys. Those are the picks we go through. Taz, Matty Ice, man, appreciate y'all jumping on the franchise. It's good to have the original crew back on to talk about all the picks. And, when we first started this show, this was like a 2-hour-long show, and we've kind of condensed it down to get it under an hour. And I just appreciate you guys taking time out your day to jump on and talk about these picks, man.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
All right, Taz, what you got for the Dynasty before we get out of here? Lions to the Super Bowl?
Lions to the playoffs. That's where we're shooting for first.
Let's go.
Just good luck to everybody. Yeah, that's it. Just
Matty Ice, do you take the NFC East back?
Yeah, you know that, man. Come on now. We're coming back. I mean, there's a couple of things that happened last season that I didn't have enough focus. We're going to get back to our roots, and we're going to be in the postseason once again, and we're going to compete. It starts with the Super Bowl winner tonight. Hopefully we play at around 8:30. We get it cracking, and everybody have a great, clean season and follow them rules. You need questions, you know who to hit up.
Yeah, and we expect the Jags to continue playing where we've been at. But tell you what, every team in the AFC South got better. Even SJ with 2 Jags he drafted in the first round. But, man, the SJ's tough. Marizi's tough. Darkness and the Titans always going to be tough. So going to be a battle in the AFC. The Super Bowl champ is there, so we got to dethrone him. But guys, this has been the franchise, the longest running show here on the DML Network. Huge shout out. We cannot do this show without a huge shout out to Nasty Noop, our producer in the background.
Yes,
always takes care of us with our graphics. Does an
Facts.
amazing job. Congratulations to SJ being the Stretch Armstrong Award winner. And have a great season, guys. On behalf of Matty Ice, Taz, it's your boy Expert, and we out.
Thank you for tuning into the DML Network. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below.